Just to remind members, the July meeting, if we have to have a July meeting to approve bills, that'll be sometime in the morning, as we've always done in the past. Okay, we did have an executive session, however, there were no votes taken in executive session. Item number 4, approval of minutes, open session, regular meeting on May 22nd.
Motion to approve.
Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, executive session, regular meeting on May 27th.
Motion to approve an appropriate section within the state law.
Motion made and second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no correspondence. No one has signed up for public comment. Item number 7, Chair will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion second.
Motion made, second. Any questions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, Superintendent's Report. Mr. Goho.
Thank you, Dr. Pilata, members of the school committee. So the first item is to recognize the State of Rhode Island Civic Education Teacher of the Year, which is our own Miss Crystal Bozigian, Social Studies Department Chair at North Providence High School. So I know there's not a lot of people here in the audience, but we are broadcasting to the world via YouTube, so they will all see this. So just a little bit of background about Ms. Bozigian, whom the school committee would like to recognize this evening. During her tenure, Ms. Bozigian has not only served the Social Studies Department as a teacher and department chair, but also taken on the vital roles of mock trial advisor, advanced placement coordinator, coach of our swim team, and project close-up coordinator. Her dedication to fostering a deeper understanding of civic responsibilities and engagement among her students is unparalleled. Through her tireless efforts in the classroom, Ms. Bozigian has inspired a love of history, government, and social sciences. She has transformed these subjects into vibrant, living conversations in our curriculum about the past, present, and future. Her commitment to academic excellence and civic engagement has prepared her students to be informed, thoughtful, and active participants in our democracy. As the advisor to the mock trial team, Ms. Bozigian has equipped her students with invaluable skills in critical thinking, public speaking, and legal reasoning. Under her guidance, these young minds have not only learned about the intricacies of the legal system, but also have gained confidence and a sense of accomplishment that extends far beyond the courtroom. Furthermore, Ms. Bozigian's dedication to Project Close-Up, the yearly trip to Washington, D.C., where they gain an insider's perspective on the working of our federal government. Each year, she ensures that her students have the opportunity to see democracy in action, fostering a lifelong appreciation for civic duty and engagement. And I think from our perspective, too, the leadership that she provides in terms of the development and implementation of our social studies curriculum. I should also mention, Ms. Bozigian, as you all know, is a graduate of North Providence High School and valedictorian. So at this point, I'd like to obviously thank you for all of your work, congratulate you on this prestigious honor, and Dr. Pilata has a citation that he would like to read and present to you.
Valedictorian, I'm impressed. All right, so the citation reads as follows. Be it hereby known to all that the North Providence School Committee hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Crystal Bozigian for the 2024 Rhode Island Civics Educator of the Year Award. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success. Proposed the 17th day of June 2024, signed by myself and Superintendent Goho. And on behalf of the school committee, we thank you for this achievement. It's a great credit towards the school district and your achievement and your accomplishment, and we're all very proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next time, bring a crowd.
Thank you, Ms. Bozigian. Have a great summer vacation. Take care. Okay, next item on the agenda is I would like to invite Matt McBurney from Left Field just to give the committee and the public an update as to the status and timeline of our school construction project pertaining to the new administration building, the remodeling of the high school auditorium, as well as the soon-to-begin construction of our 2 new elementary schools. Mr. McBurney.
All right, thank you very much. So I am going to provide the presentation in Studio J's place. So I want to start by saying I'm an engineer, not an architect. So if there are any questions from a architectural design perspective, I'll gladly take those over to Phil. So let's get started here. The agenda for the presentation here, the new elementary school project update for Greystone and Wayland. We'll give an update on the addition and an update on the auditorium. So where we stand with the design for the 2 new schools, both sets of construction documents have been issued. Shawmut is currently receiving market pricing from subcontractors. Right now, the reconciled budgets for the 2 schools shown there, Wayland we have at 34 million, Greystone at 54 million. Now, we're also going to continue to work to bring that down just a bit, but we are well within the striking distance at this time of a project. And you'll see as we go through the slides that the plan into the summer will focus on the pre-construction and logistics. So there's no real change here to what you've recently seen. Studio J provided a few design presentations over the last couple of months, and really nothing has changed. This is just to show you kind of where that landed. So Studio J took the feedback and he received and implemented it into the drawings. So here for Wayland, you can see the civil site plan. Not much has changed. We still have the parking separated from the play areas. We have that access road behind the new school. One thing to note, I think since Studio J's last presentation, we have completed public safety meetings with the fire department, police department, and the building official for both schools to make sure that they have all the access they require, hence the enlarged access road on the backside. And again, really no change here to the floor plans or the programming. Studio Jade has updated some of the exterior renderings, starting to show some color on the metal panels. And these can be, as we go through subcontractor pricing, if there's any value engineering that has to be made, we will consider that. But this is where the exterior elevations are presenting now. Okay, moving to Greystone, again, really not much of a change here. We have been making some civil updates, but nothing that would be recognized unless you were looking at the drawing change from before. Again, no real change to programming. And also for Greystone, the updated renderings and exterior views. So I do want to touch on the logistics a bit. And so for both schools, after the 4th of July, Shawmut may be on site for various testing, very limited amount of scope. After the 1st of August, they will fully mobilize for both sites. And when I say fully mobilized, I mean they will have their job trailers there to start put site fencing up. Really, the full project footprint will be taken over by Shawmut. And again, these logistics plans, even though they're temporary and phased throughout the project, have been reviewed with public safety as well. And again, here for Greystone, same exact message that it's been reviewed with public safety. One addition is that access road between the 2 school locations, the new and the old. The fire department requested that specifically, so there was a bit of a change in the civil site plan so that that road could be put in. Okay, so kind of going into what I was just describing, the summer 2024 work will be, as Phil has it here, butter and neighbor engagement, permitting, site prep, and enabling work. So we've already engaged Rhode Island Energy for both sites. We have met with them. We'll be generating site plans and getting their portion of the work in place. Work order numbers have already been pulled. The permitting process will begin. We have the construction documents set out. We'll be putting together a permitting set specifically to go to the building department, and then also as we get closer to the mobilization date, we'll want to speak with the abutters and neighbors so that we're making sure that any concerns that they have are addressed. Okay, so with that mobilization date being August of '24, the real heavy construction will start a few months later, October, November timeline. And we have right now on the schedule about an 18 months. So we're looking at new building completion by the April or May of '26. And then as we finish that, once the students leave for summer, we'll get into the existing building, do any abatement needed, and begin demolition.
So Matt,
Yes.
Kids will be in the building September of '26.
Yes, the new
And
buildings.
if you need to continue demolition, but that
Yep.
kids would still be able to attend school.
Yes, yes. The demolition there's going to be a heavy focus of demolition over the summer when students aren't present. But if something does have to spill into the school year, Showmet will have the site protected so that the demolition and work can continue while students are in school without impacting students or teachers. Yeah. Any other questions on the new elementary schools before I move to the admin addition and auditorium updates?
So just to be clear, full mobilization around August 1st.
Yes.
Construction, heavy construction commencing around October, November.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Now, if they have a chance to bring that timeline up, I'd advise that we do. So there may be a change of if it comes into September, but then we'll be very careful with the start of school and trying to not impact that. So I would say to be safe, it would be after school starts, no matter what. But it could be earlier than that November time. Okay, and then the addition is going very well. Showmet is doing a fantastic job. The project is on budget and on time. Anticipated completion October of '24. Now that's full completion. There'll be a temporary certificate of occupancy that we can obtain so that any move-in activities done by staff members can be done under a TCO, a temporary certificate of occupancy. They cannot come into the building until we have that, at least, because then that designates that the building is safe for non-construction personnel. Just to touch into this, as you can see on the building, there's a couple different colors. This is the building envelope portion. So what you're seeing here is the building envelope in various stages. You see some insulation there. You see some waterproofing. You might even be able to make out some glass in there. So the building skin and envelope is really progressing. Roofing is progressing, and we're getting close to in-wall completion for mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So drywall finishes, those activities will be beginning shortly. Okay, auditorium, again, Showmet's doing a fantastic job on budget and on schedule. The substantial completion, the date of the TCO is expected to be June 28th, and everything is pointing in that direction. So the auditorium will be completed on time.
Did you end up with the same amount of seating?
I believe so, yes, because the layout for the seating wasn't changed. The only thing that has been addressed is ADA compliance for removable seats. So the number of seats that can be in the auditorium at a time, if there's an ADA requirement for a portion of the seats to be removed, those seats can be removed. So obviously the number will go down, but the number was maintained. Any questions on the addition or the auditorium?
Anyone have any questions?
To the right, front.
Yes.
Right in the front, first two rows.
Yep.
The seating can with a couple popping of a couple of buttons. Seats entire rows can come right out.
Yep.
And stored and then put back.
Yep. And then when the seats are there, if you have seen some auditorium seating before, there are bolts that come out of the floor. Those will be protected. So yes, there's an ADA lift. So there's an elevator lift.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Very good. Thank you, Matt. Thanks for the update.
Thank you. Thank you.
So everything's pretty much on one of the original timelines. Good, thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Next item, there was a memo from Mr. McBurney and a potential estimate regarding furniture and equipment for the new administration building in terms of a small portion that would be the responsibility of the school department. We would take that out of fund balance so that we would not impact the operating budget. So I would request approval of the purchase of the furniture and equipment for the new admin building as indicated in the memo and projected invoice from Mr. McBurney.
Move to approve.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda is I would request a motion to approve the enclosed quote for the purchase of furniture for the Ritchie Middle School Library Media Center, which, as you know, has been an ongoing project of ours at the high school and the two middle schools. This would be probably the last purchase to complete that project.
So moved.
Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item E.
I would request a motion to approve the recommendations of our finance director for the reconciliation of the fiscal year 2025 operating budget as submitted. And you'll note that the majority of the reductions will come from a reduction in the budget line for out-of-district placed special education students.
Move to approve the reconciliation.
Second.
Any questions? Just a quick comment. You all saw the letter that I sent to the town council. In that letter, I indicated that if we needed to come back in April to ask for more money because we're being level funded, that would necessitate probably asking for funds to supplement the special education tuition. Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no school committee reports. We have no old business. Item number 11. New business. Mr. Govo.
First item on the agenda is I request approval of the one-year rollover extension to the contract for Chartwell's Food Services. This is the last year that we would have a rollover. Next year we will be going out to bid or awaiting the state bid on that contract.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda, I'm requesting a motion to approve the New England Base Camp Partnership Agreement for K-5 as submitted.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C.
And I should note that Attorney Scungio has reviewed all of these agreements as we typically do. Next item C is I would request a motion for approval of the New England Base Camp Partnership Agreement at the secondary level.
Motion to approve.
Motion made and second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is D. I would request a motion of the to approve the True North engagement proposal, K-12 consulting.
Motion made.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is E. I would request a motion of to approve the True North engagement proposal to continue their work with the district and the schools with our strategic planning.
So moved.
Second. Questions?
Hey, I miss Louise. Telling us all these things.
Yeah, these are all falling under her,
I read
and
them.
they're all federally funded as well. I should have mentioned that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is item F. I would request approval for the quote included in your packet to repair the high school press box. The significant repairs that are needed there, and also as we're probably aware, the baseball field has leakage in the dugouts. So Mr. Fioroli has obtained some really good pricing for us to address that with one contractor, and I would request approval of the quote as submitted.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda is I am requesting approval for the bid submitted by Rad Sports for the work that would commence this summer at McGuire Elementary School Playground. Just to give you some background, as you know, we've had some significant drainage areas with some of the historic storms that we have had over the last couple of years. We brought in various companies to assess the situation. We received a proposal which the school committee approved for added drainage to the parking lot and the hill area leading down into the playground. We then submitted that proposal to the Rhode Island School Building Authority as a health and safety project for reimbursement, which they did approve. We did receive that letter. The drainage work has begun during the school year in the upper parking lot, and the rest of the work will be done this summer to address the drainage issue. But part of the problem that I'm asking for approval tonight is the actual playground area, the very lower playground portion. The grass area is no longer a grass area, and it's not usable. It did not have irrigation when it was installed. That would not be approved. It was not an approved expenditure for the project of the new school. So we have kids playing on that playground, and over time, the grass just died and has become mud. So we've tried all kinds of Band-Aids, including mulch, and mulch is not a good option. Playground mulch is not a good option. It attracts bees. It's not really all that safe. When we have historic rains, again, we end up with mulch that gets washed away. So a good portion of the playground has not been really usable on a day-to-day basis. So we looked at a number of options, and what we have submitted to you is the best, most cost-effective option to install turf padding, not a playground padding, which would be significantly more money, but turf on the grass area, and then it will include drainage, and it will make the McGuire playground fully functional for our kids on a day-to-day basis, and it's the most cost-effective and practical solution. So I'll entertain any questions, but at this point, I'm requesting a motion to approve the bid for Rad Sports.
Motion approved.
Second.
Question, Mr. Andrews.
So it's a good question. So for this portion of the project, it would not be reimbursable, but this would be an expenditure that would come out of fund balance and not affect the operating budget, because it is a one-time capital expense.
So are there any funds left over from the building of the school that the town may have taken at that point?
I am not sure. I mean, Ms. Castanelli could inquire of the town, but I do believe the majority of any funding that was left over, maybe Mr. Feroli would know, was used on the high school complex, the football field and the baseball field. But we did explore that. I think we asked that question, and that's what we were told. There was nothing left.
And what's the approximate cost?
$106,000.
I think that's a good question. I think, Mr. Ferrell, you said there's nothing left over. You know that for a fact?
I believe you can come to the microphone, Jim, but I do believe Ms. Castanelli inquired before we. Yeah.
This is not the first time we've asked.
Could you just briefly explain how they're going to address the slope with the water?
Yep. The microphone, please.
There you go.
There you go.
It's the second contractor that's Cassisi Brothers are coming up with a system of interlocking blocks. It's going to hold that back, and it catches its holes in the middle. The drain goes through the holes and goes down into a catch basin that's in the playground. After this, yeah. That's all because we didn't put the irrigation in.
So, your experience with this, let's assume that doesn't work. Are they responsible?
Yeah, no, they'll make it work, yeah. Yeah, and this turf is guaranteed too. We just did this in Evans Field and Stephen Owens in the playground. So they come in, they take everything out. They have to do a concrete curb all around the playground, like we do the football field, that attaches the pad. Then they put stone, sand base, with paper over it. Then they put an impact pad. Then they put the turf.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is I would request approval of the enclosed job description, which will be a stipended position for one of our elementary administrators, which is lead district multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS coordinator. So I would request approval of the enclosed job description.
Motion made.
Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is I. We have a federal grant that we have received that requires us to put in place a homeless outreach coordinator. So I would request approval of the enclosed job description for the homeless liaison outreach coordinator as submitted.
Motion to approve.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item J.
Item J, I would request approval of the revised and updated job description of the high school career coordinator as aligned to the RIDE regulations and requirements for this Perkins-funded, federally funded position.
Motion made.
Questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda is I would request approval of the enclosed local 2435 AFT MOA regarding the adjustment to the shift hours of our custodians.
Motion made.
Any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Last item, the school department has received a grant, so I would request approval of the enclosed memorandum of agreement regarding the Get the Foam Out Initiative grant, which will lead to us replacing the styrofoam lunch trays in the cafeteria.
That's perfect. Motion made.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Goho. Item number 12, approval of bills.
Motion made to approve the bills as submitted.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, use of property request,
Motion made.
which would
to-
include the latest property request that we received.
Motion made to approve all of the property requests that were submitted.
Discussion?
Questions on use of property?
Sir, I just like,
Mr. Pollock.
I also vote to approve the use of property. The only suggestion I have is pending for the AAU organization, just pending review by the legal counsel for the insurance.
Could you repeat that?
I do approve I do voting in favor of use of property, but the additional use of property we just got for the AAU organization, I just like to make a motion that pending review, approving that one pending review by our legal counsel.
Yeah, we're not making a new motion. What you're saying is you're including that the AAU property is going to be approved with the provision that it is, what was it, approved by legal?
Right, so we received some last-minute insurance documents that need to be approved by the trust and by Attorney Scungio. And so there wasn't time to do that because we just received the documents, so it wasn't time to do that in time for this evening's document, but we can approve that use of property pending the successful review of those
Sorry
documents.
if I confused everybody, but yes, that's what I meant.
That way they don't have to come back here in August when the season's over.
Right.
No, it's not a separate.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no request to address the committee. We have no pending business. And I'll just remind the committee once again that we may or may not have a July meeting. If there are bills to be paid, that meeting will take place in the morning. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All those